What is going on, guys? Flamm back with another video, and today I want to do a comparison between the burst ARs and the full auto ARs. Specifically, is the blue AR better than every single full auto AR? This is something that has come up because a lot of really good players love the blue AR. They absolutely love it. If you watch Ninja, who is one of the best Fortnite players, he picks the blue AR over scars all of the time. So today I wanted to break it down and compare and see why he would choose the blue AR over something like a gold scar. To start out this comparison, let's go ahead and go over the damage numbers on every single weapon. So for the white normal full auto AR, it is 30 damage per body shot, and then for every single auto rifle it is 2 times per headshot. So 30 damage for the white AR and 60 damage for the headshot. Then the green AR is 31 and 62 for a headshot, blue being 33 and 66, the purple scar doing 35 body shot and 70 headshot, and of course the gold scar doing 36 body shot and 72 headshot. Now this is where things get really interesting. For the burst ARs, they actually have a damage multiplier per headshot of 2.5. So the white burst rifle does 27 to the body and 67 to the head. The green one does 29 to the body and 72.5 to the head. And then the blue AR, the blue burst AR, does 30 to the body and 75 to the head. 75! That is a crazy number for a 1 bullet headshot. Now, other things we have to take into consideration here. Of course, the fire rate. The normal full auto ARs have a fire rate of 5.5, and the burst rifles have a fire rate of 4.06. Now, when we compare them side by side and we time how long it takes, you can fire 3 burst shots from your burst AR in the same amount of time it takes you to fire 2 AR bullets. Now, of course, after those first 3 shots, there's a very lengthy time that you have to wait before you can fire the burst AR again. It is 62/100ths of a second, over half of a second before you are able to fire again. That is nearly enough time for you to be able to fire 3 more bullets out of your normal full auto AR. So although the burst rifle does fire faster initially, after that initial burst, it drastically goes down and the full auto ARs suddenly become a lot more dominant. Now, this is specifically important because in Fortnite there's this thing known as bloom. If you don't know what bloom is, I will give you the quick rundown. Basically what bloom is inside of a small square where those little lines are around your reticle. There are 4 lines around the outside of your reticle. Anywhere inside of those 4 lines is where your bullet can go when you press the fire button. So although your reticle may be directly on someone, the bullet can actually go anywhere inside of those 4 lines. So since the full auto AR is able to fire more bullets, you have more chances of being able to hit someone if you just waste your whole magazine compared to the burst rifle. If you sit there and just fire over and over and over again with the burst rifle and you do the same with the AR, chances are that you're going to be hitting more shots with your full auto AR because of course you are firing more bullets. It is still completely RNG, but the more bullets you are able to fire, the more chances you have at getting a hit. So if building did not exist in Fortnite Battle Royale, right there is where the conversation would end. We'd say obviously the scar is going to be better than the blue AR because it does more damage over time. The more consistently you have a shot at doing damage, the more consistently you're going to be able to do damage. But with the massive skill gap that building provides in Fortnite Battle Royale, you can control the pace of every single engagement. As long as you have enough materials to build a ramp and to build walls and to just keep on building, you get to dictate how fast that engagement is played. You can decide to sit there and peek the entire time and keep trying to shoot over and over and over again, or you can do a really quick peek, burst, go back into cover, peek, burst, and do that over and over and over again. So suddenly this is where the burst rifle becomes really good. Like I mentioned earlier, if you fire at the exact same time, you'll be firing 3 shots from your burst in the same amount of time it takes you to fire 2 full auto AR bullets. So if you quickly peek, do a burst, and then get back into cover, you are firing more bullets than the other person. And more so, if you get really good at quick peeking, you should be able to consistently fire 3 shots from your burst, with the other person only being able to fire 1 shot from a normal full auto AR. So if you can consistently dictate the pace of your engagements and you're using a burst AR, you can be 3 times as effective as your opponent using something like a Scar. So this is why you'll see really good players such as Ninja and top Fortnite players who really like the burst AR, because when they're playing really good people and they're building and they're doing these crazy things and they're just taking really quick shots, the burst has really high potential for massive damage very quickly. Now of course there are still some major downsides to using the burst AR. Effectively taking down opponents' builds is something that is going to drastically go down when you are using the burst AR. One burst from a burst AR is not enough to take out a newly built piece of wood. So that means when that person, or if a person is pushing you and you're trying to shoot down their build, you are going to be very ineffective if you are using a burst rifle. And of course, after you shoot that initial burst, you're going to have to wait a very long time before you shoot your next burst, and in that amount of time, their builds are continuously getting stronger. So if you decide to use a burst over a full auto AR, you can effectively say goodbye to taking out people's builds, because you just can't do it effectively enough. A tactic that a lot of people like to do when people are sitting inside of towers is they'll just keep shooting it down over and over again. First off, if you're shooting for the base, it's going to take a lot longer with a burst AR, but if you're shooting at the top and you're trying to get a couple of shots into people as they're trying to defend, so they're building, you're shooting it down and you're getting a couple shots on them in between, there's no way you're going to be able to do that with a burst rifle, because the person can easily react in enough time before you have even the slightest chance of shooting them. So how do you take that portion out of your game and still be really effective with the burst AR? Well, that means you have to be a really effective shotgunner and a really effective builder. If someone is camping in the base, you have to be very good at pushing up to them and being able to shotgun them. And again, if someone is pushing you, you will not have enough time to shoot down their build, so you have to be a very good shotgunner. And then the final thing you have to be very effective with if you're going to use the burst shot is having your initial shot be very accurate. Something that a lot of people rely on, myself included, when using an AR is, hey, it's full auto. If I miss the first couple of shots, it'll be okay. I'll just realign my aim and then I'll get it right. With the burst rifle, you have one shot. You have that one pull of the trigger, and then your aim has to be right on point. So going back to the initial question of which is better, the burst AR or the full auto AR, the blue burst or the gold scar, I would say that the blue burst has the potential to be better than every single full auto AR. Not only that, but I would say that the white burst has the potential to be better than every single full auto AR. What it comes down to is how hard do you want to try. If you want to try as hard as you humanly possibly can, you can make the white burst super effective. And when comparing these two weapons, of course you have to ask yourself about those three things. How good is your initial accuracy? How good are you at shotgunning? And how good are you at building? Those three things are absolutely essential to being very effective with the burst AR. You have to be a very good shotgunner, you have to be a very good builder, and your initial accuracy has to be on point. If we were to say which is better, a full auto AR or a burst AR, and that is your only weapon, I would probably go with the full auto AR. It has more of a capacity for more effectiveness at multiple ranges, whereas with something like the burst AR, you want to have a shotgun in tandem with it, otherwise you aren't going to be a very effective player. But for the massive potential that the burst AR brings, I will have to say that when it comes to comparing these two, I would say that the burst AR is better simply due to its potential. If you work hard enough, if you play the right way, if you build consistently, if you're a very good shotgunner, if you get really good at effectively quick peeking and being able to maximize the fire rate of the quick 3-burst shot, then the burst AR is going to be the better option. But ultimately it comes down to your personal playstyle and how you personally want to play. So let me know in the comments which weapon you guys prefer. I'll definitely be reading them. If you have not subscribed yet, I do a ton of Fortnite videos, but that is all I have for this one. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.